Okay, so first thing you have to check before jumping into first difference is checking your x values. So notice it goes 2, 4, 6, 8, and then all the way jumps to 14. So that means this should have been row 10 and then row 12. You could see that there is a pattern between this, and this. It was 5, 5, 5. So this right here should have been negative 25. But the fact that this for 14 is also negative 25, you know that it's going to be nonlinear. Okay. This example, not the best one. I would have tricked you guys a little more and made it like even, but then if you guys catch that, then you'll realize that, oh, it's actually nonlinear. All right, so explain. First difference is not the same, basically. First difference is not the same. Okay. Do I need to write an equation for nonlinear relations? No. All right. For grade 9, we don't know how to write nonlinear equations yet. All right. We only know how to do linear equations. So that's all for this one. This right here, are my x going in the right order? Yeah. Okay, and not just from biggest to smallest, but also by the same amount. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going down by 1 every time. So here I can subtract backwards. 0 minus 1.5 is negative 1.5. 1.5 minus 3, negative 1.5. That negative 1.5, negative 1.5. Okay, so linear because first difference is the same. Okay, this is the tricky part. Okay, another trick. With these linear relations, we could write y equals mx plus b. We said that m was the first difference if my x goes up by 1. What is my x going down by? It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the difference in each number? Negative 1. Yeah. So again, probably Friday we'll do more on these practice. So for m, instead of negative 1.5, it's actually negative 1.5 over negative 1. The difference in the y value divided by the difference in the x value. So you actually have this, which then gives it positive 1.5x. What's my b? What's b? My starting value. What's b? Yeah. Good job. How did you get negative 1.5? Where did I? Yeah, so you actually had to add in one more row right here. Remember, your starting value is when x is 0. So if you keep going down the pattern, you'll get that this is negative 1.5. So your equation for this one is actually 1.5x minus 1.5. So this is very tricky. Okay. Again, we'll do more practice on these later on. This is just to get you guys to practice with first difference. Okay. This next one, are my x going up or down by the same amount? Yep, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So what's the difference in my x? What's the difference in my x? Yeah, 5. Good. When I do this, 1600 minus 800, I get 800 as my first difference here. 800 minus 400, I get 400 as my difference. 200, 100. So linear or nonlinear? Nonlinear. And why? First difference is different. Is not the same. This should be an easy mark on the test. Whenever it asks you, is it linear or nonlinear? based on your first difference not the same, non-linear. First difference is the same, linear. Right? Easy mark on the test. Okay. This next one, this one was the tricky one. Okay. So given this linear relation, find the missing value. What's the key word in this question? Diction? Linear. What does that tell you then if the question says it is linear? Right. That means first difference has to be the same. So that means this is -3, this is -3, this is -3, this is -3. Okay. So if I know all the difference is -3, what would this value be? Sorry? -5, -8 minus, yeah, -5. Yeah. So -8 minus -5 gives you that -3. Same thing. Okay, -5 minus what would give you -3? -2. Keep going. Down by 3s. Actually, up by 3. +1. And then? Good job. Okay, so notice when you do it the way that we've been doing, -5 minus -8 minus -5, you get -3. -5 minus -2, you get -3. -2 minus 1, you get -3, and so forth. Okay, and what would have to happen with my x values? It's a linear relations. Yeah. So then this would be 6, this would be 10, this would be, and going backwards, 6? -6, right. Okay. Yeah, so in this whole table, I only gave you 4 numbers, but you were able to fill out everything because the question said it was a linear relation. Okay, now here's the tricky part. Okay, so if on the next test I ask you guys something like this to write the equation, I'm going to choose nicer numbers. This one, numbers are not as nice. But again, I just want a little intro of how to write the equations. We'll do more practice on writing these equations after. Okay, so remember my m is the difference in the y value over the difference in the x value. So the difference in my y value is -3 divided by the difference in my x value, which is 4. So my m in this case is actually -3 over 4. And then b, my starting value. My starting value, yep. How did you get 2.5? Where did that come from? Right here, this row in between -2 and 2 is the row 0. And so between 1 and 4, that number in between is 2.5. So plus 2.5. Right? As I was saying, numbers weren't that nice. And notice the question didn't ask for the equation. I just wanted to throw that in because I think some of you were able to come up with the equation, so I wanted to challenge you guys a little. If you couldn't write the equation, that's okay. We'll do a whole lesson on it after. Okay, good job. Today's lesson. Okay, so today we're going to do a little bit more table of values. Oh, another one of these fun sheets. Fun puzzle. Woohoo. All right, I make a handout for you guys. 3, 4, to the top of that, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I didn't. I know you. 1, 2, 3,
I got a 96 in geography, 93 in math.
Oh, I got a 93.
Okay. Okay. Okay, everybody got a copy? Okay, so we have these fun sheets again. And making math a little funnier. Okay, so this time you want to figure out why did Sorna pour ketchup on her brother's head. If you did not like the last puzzle, this joke is worse. I'm telling you. Yes. Alright, so what we have to do is we are given the equation and we have to complete the table of value. So for example, number 1 right here, y equals negative 2x. I give you the x values, so what you have to do is replace it. So y equal negative 2, I'm going to replace that x with 1. Whenever you substitute, make sure you put in brackets. So this reads negative 2 times 1, which gives you negative 2. So for the number 1, your answer is negative 2. Right? Same thing for the next one when it's 4. So y equals negative 2 times 4. And that gives you negative 8. Yeah, so negative 8. Sub in negative 5. So negative 2 times negative 5. Again, make sure, yeah, negative 5. Yeah, make sure you put it in brackets. Otherwise, it's going to read negative 2 minus 5. And that's totally not what we're doing. Negative 2 times negative 5 gives you, good, positive 10. And then 3, what do you get? Negative 6. Negative 6. Okay, so now that we have these answers, we're going to do a Da Vinci Code. Da, da, da. So for number 1 right here, you're looking for the negative 2 as your answer. So negative 2 is the letter H. So H, you write that here. For negative 8. Negative 8 as your answer for the second one. So negative 8 is the letter E. So you write E. Okay. Number 3 is 10. So it's the word R, letter R. And then number 4 is the number negative 6, which is the letter B. Good. Herb. All right. Just to do 2 more right here. So y equal 4 plus 2x. I'm going to sub in the 3 right here. So y equal 4 plus 2 times what? 3. What do you get? 4 plus 2 times 3. Remember, you have to do bad math. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. All right, one last one. Let's try with negative 7. So y equals 4 plus 2 times negative 7. Again, I'm replacing the x. I'm replacing the x with this table of value of x. What do you get here? Sorry? Yeah, negative 10. 4 plus negative 14, which gives you negative 10. Yeah, so be very careful with the math, bed mass, and then the negative signs. So for number 5 is the letter R, right? And then what about 6? Negative 10 is the letter, negative 10 is the letter O. Okay, and then so forth. That's how you would solve the mystery message, the secret message. Why Sonia poured ketchup on her brother's hand? Right. After you do that, on the bottom you see there are grids. Okay, I don't need you guys to write down numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't need you to label it. Just consider every one box is 1. So here, these are coordinates. So for the first graph right here, 1, negative 2, this is a coordinate. You can write it as a table. You can also write it as a coordinate. So this is a point. How many points is here? 4. Yeah, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point. So after you plot those 4 points on the first graph, 1, negative 2, for example. All right, there's my first point. All right, the second point is 4, negative 8. 4, negative 8. So on here, 4, negative 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, something like that. After you plot your 4 points, you should be able to connect with a line or a curve. Okay. I'll give you guys so each one of these. So this is number 1. You graph number 1 here. Number 2, graph number 2 here, and so forth. I'll give you guys about 15 minutes, okay, to do the puzzle and the graph. Okay, give it a try. Okay, let's come up with that secret message. So what was that secret message? Her brother said he wanted his palm.
Wait, do you want us to draw a line if we can for the graph?
Yep, red. Ha ha ha. So why did Sonia pour ketchup on her brother's hand? Because her brother asked for it. He said he wanted his palm red. Sorry. Hey, at least your math teacher tried. Okay. As I was saying, these worksheets, there are worse ones. So this is there are worse ones. I think there was a book. Yeah, there's like actually a book with these puzzles in it. It's not a bestseller though. Okay, so when you graph these points, negative 5, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then 3, negative 6, 3, negative 6. Okay, so for the first graph, I got this. How should I connect the dots? What's the connection between the dots? Let's see if it all lines up to be a line. It does. Yeah. So I draw my straight line. My line goes through all of the points. Okay. Are you guys done graphing all 8? 4? First 4?
No, I'm not even
First
done
3.
yet. I'm on the second one. I haven't even finished the first one.
Oh, okay.
For like the one on 4, one of them is like 10, like X 10.
Oh, yeah, go off the graph a little. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. For number 2, when you graph the points, do you get a line?
Yes.
C. Yeah. What about number 3? When you plot the points, do you get the line?
Yes.
We. Number 4, when you graph the points, do you get a line?
I didn't do it.
Not yet? Okay, yes you do. Okay, so for the first 4, at least for the first 4, you do get a line when you plot the points. Okay, I'll give you guys another few minutes to graph 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to ask you guys what type of graph you guys see.